Welcome back to the Clock Shop. This is Jim with JR Clocker on eBay. Let's see what happened at the Clock Shop this week.
Okay. Beautiful movement. Really came out nice. Now, these are a little bit tougher to put back together, as I've stated in the past, because the solid plate in the back. The easiest ones are the split plate in the back. The toughest ones are the solid plate in the back. But we're just going to go through this and carefully, slowly, and put it back together. First thing we do, come down here, look for my mark, and there's my mark. Put that down there, and okay, we'll put this aside. We'll put these in. During the middle of this filming, the NAWCC National Convention, we just got back from it. Well, this is Tuesday, so we got back Sunday night, and it was very nice, very nice. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I was just right, because another little trick, just in case you can't find your mark or whatever. The 89s, they all wind into the center, so they're pretty easy to put back together to figure out where they go. And I have these springs a little tight. Anyway, we'll continue now. And the easiest way to do this is find, we're working on the strike side. Okay, easy, right there, strike side. We know that it's there. Now you just look for the gear that goes ahead and winds the, moves the count wheel. I guess that would be called the count wheel drive gear. Oh, I got a customer. Hold on. Okay, we're back to let's get John's clock fixed now. Anyway, we're gonna, it's all done being cleaned, pivots polished, bushings are done. We broached the bushings, so now we're gonna put it back together. Hey, let's get to it. Okay. Beautiful movement. Really came out nice. Now, these are a little bit tougher to put back together, as I've stated in the past, because the solid plate in the back. The easiest ones are the split plate in the back. The toughest ones are the solid plate in the back. But we're just going to go through this and carefully, slowly, and put it back together. First thing we do, come down here, look for my mark, and there's my mark. Put that down there, and okay, we'll put this aside. And then I usually have a little Okay, put these in. During the middle of this filming, the NAWCC National Convention, we just got back from it. Well, this is Tuesday, so we got back Sunday night, and it was very nice, very, very nice. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I was just right, because another little trick, just in case you can't find your mark or whatever. The 89s, they all wind into the center, so they're pretty easy to put back together to figure out where they go. And these springs a little tight. Anyway, we'll continue now, and the easiest way to do this is find, we're working on the strike side. Okay, easy, right there, strike side, we know that it's there. Now you just look for the gear that goes ahead and winds the, moves the count wheel. I guess that would be called the count wheel drive gear. Oh, I got a customer, hold on. Okay. All right, so where were we? Now we're putting this in. Okay, just get that in place there. There we go. All right, so what's our next? Remember, we're looking for, oops, don't get too far away from here. Like this. Okay. Got a little ahead of myself there. All right. So now you're looking for any wheels with any pins on it, like this one. Kind of skipped ahead. Like that pin. That goes in there. Okay. Oops. That. And then this one will spin here. Again, if you watched me assemble before, I leave this one out. And excuse me. Wow. Okay, put that in. I try to remember to put this around the post because it's really a pain to get it on the post once you. Okay. I'm not going to put the rest of the train in until I get these in. All right, this one, again, this hooks onto a knob right here. So we're just going to put this one in place. And on this one, the putty does work pretty good on these. I just want it to be down in the lower position. I don't want it moving up this way. I just want it locked in down here. Because then I can just move this around. Put this pin right in the general area. Okay, now we have the real fun one, and that's the fish hook. I'm going to slide that in there underneath that wheel. This wheel goes there. Okay. That's pretty much in place where we want it. And then this hook goes, of course, on a pin on this side. All right. The fish hook's in place. And now I just have climbing the steps. 1, perfect example. I didn't mark them, I don't think. I usually don't. And I'll tell you right now, take your time, because these wheels are almost identical. They're just slightly different. And and so it takes a little bit to get them in the right orientation. But this is the right one. I think you've seen me do these a million times. And that's why I say there's nothing wrong with putting your marks on them. You know, you'll know which and we always do it so they're facing up. Just like when you take the plate off, you mark them. Now, make sure that this one here is in the right position, because I gotta sneak this underneath. This is where the open plate makes it a little easier. Just basically to see, make sure that I'm in the right spot. I'm going to bend that out of whack a little bit. I'll bend it back in. And John, if you're watching this video, this is very bendable. You can get it back in position here pretty easily. I'm going to do that after I'm finished. But you'll probably have to do a little bit of adjustment when you get the movement back. I'm just starting these on. I'm not tightening them all the way up. So I want to get this in. Now we can tighten a little bit more. Looking at the alignment. Okay, I had to look at a couple things because there are a couple things wrong here, seriously wrong, in the way this movement was put back together the last time. One, this had a screw that was holding this down right here. This is supposed to be up here. This is supposed to be through this hole. Somebody tapped this hole and made it a screw and then put this screw in it. That's wrong. This screw goes all the way up here. And I had to pause the video just to figure out what the heck had happened. So I'm going to put it together, back together for you the way it's supposed to be. And if I can capture some photographs of what it was before I started this, I'll try to, and put them in. This is what this is supposed to be. There we go. And I'm putting this basically in the center. So when we put it back on, we'll be there. Now I am going to go and put the screw in. I'm going to put it in lightly. I'm not going to put it in all the way yet. And this holds the... But I was looking at it, I was like, what's going on? I did make one mistake this spring, and that's actually kind of got me started at this, that this clip is up here, but it was being hidden by this thing. So never put this back together. Did it wrong. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it was a little confusing. and to somebody else it may have been a bigger deal. All right, let's continue here. We'll move some of this stuff out of the way. Again, I leave the verge to the end. It's just easier that way. I can use the plate separators to get these back on. Right now I'm going to go up the strike side because I'm going to keep my stuff in the right orientation. But I've been messing with this. I didn't notice that one of my levers came out. Let me move that out of the way. I'm going to... That was really confusing. I was like, what the heck? And then I noticed this isn't supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be up here. But then again, this came to me all apart, so with the wheels in, but they were switched. Yeah, I remember. It's been a little time since I've been working on this clock because we had some schedules for picking up the clock shop we bought. That video should be in here soon. And then I'll get that there. Put this back on. So yeah, I'm not going through the normal, and there's always going to be something, you know, you missed. I miss them. You know, I didn't see that. As I'm sitting here actually going through the process, and I will go check the video. My previous one, the first one, when everything was in a box, all the wheels in that were a box except these two, and that's where we. I think what happened was whoever had been working on it just had it. Okay. Maybe I should put together a video picture library of movements in the most general terms where things should be. So, pictures of it so you can have a reference library. Might be a good idea. Because, you know, I picked it up because I've done so many of them, and I was like, oh, that's not where it's supposed to be. But it took me a minute, and I didn't want to do it live on camera. Maybe I should have. Because, I mean, a lot of it I've come to realize after I went back on camera, because then I started thinking about where this movement came from and the story. But the reason why I'm thinking about the library is that I figured out, because I've done them so many times, but you may not and could probably use a resource. I might think pretty hard on that, because I think it would be a useful tool. So we're totally off script here, because normally I just throw these back together again, but I wasn't really paying too much attention about the wheels and where they were when I was trying to figure out what the world is. I guess the first thing was I went to put this in and I didn't have a hole to put it into. And then this was down here, and then I couldn't see this little nub, which explained a lot of things to me. I took this off, saw the hole back there, and I looked in there and somebody had threaded it. Anyway, what's going on, I don't know. Or maybe it was just a perfect fit. Who knows? It was just accident that just happened to work out. Pretty wild. Anyway, I'm gonna put a nut on here so I don't have to watch it so much, because I have all my wheels, well, almost. This one will need a little bit of adjustment. It needs to go over about probably 1/8 of a turn. Time sign, I'm not worried too much about it. It's pretty straightforward. I just, you know, your time is going to be spent a lot on the strike side on these movements because there's just a lot going on with the levers. And take that off for you don't have to put them on early. I just want to get it. All right. All right. Escapements there. Okay. Right now I'm just adjusting this little spring here so it's not, there we go. It's not in the pivot. Sometimes that happens. I want to make sure that it's not in the pivot now. The other one's pretty, I don't know if you can see it, but this one comes right up to the plate, so I don't want it to be inside the pivot. Let's see if I can get a, I want it to be pushed back. The other one here is far in, so it's not even close to the plate. Got this in the right, no, I got it in the right way this way. Just noticed. Pretty okay, it was time right. I keep moving the fish hook by letting this turn here free. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to put in the verge and stop this issue. So we won't have this twirling around anymore. And I also have to make an adjustment on, let me get this screwed back in. Okay, so wind on it. I don't put too much. All right, another little video I want you to watch. This is hitting the right at the tooth, so it's not letting it go up or down. Okay, can you see that? So I'm going to try just to bend it there a little bit and see if it hits the middle. Nope. Nope. Okay. So it stopped on a short tooth, not on a long tooth. It's supposed to stop on a long tooth. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to, a couple different things I'm here to do. So if it's a long tooth, then you just put it down further. That's not a correct orientation, but because it's rubbing, it's a little too low. When we get to the long tooth, it's not stopping on the short tooth now. Oh, let me do that a little bit. It's back onto the still hitting that. Okay. things here. You want to stop it right when it goes down the long tooth. Then you got to look at where this stop lever is. And remember, again, when I got this was all parts, so normally I wouldn't have so much adjustment to do, but I think things got changed in the time frame. Okay, we got it to stop now. Okay, it's still not where I would prefer it to be, so I do have some more adjustments to make on it. But the next problem that what I have is that when it's running, I don't have enough spring on it anymore. I've been pretty much letting it run a little bit, so I'll let it get a little power here. Well, it's stopping. It's stopping now every time. Yeah. That's usually okay. But this isn't catching the wheel in here coming around, so that's just basically going in, just trying to find out where to go in, and now I got to make sure before I get too far, these springs do play a part in this. Since I know I'm going to be able to stop it, I'm going to take these off right now. I am going to wind the spring. I want to make sure that the wheels, that this isn't affecting how this is laying, because sometimes it rubs up against it and holds it back. So let's just so you know what I'm doing, I'm trying to get this to go come at an angle that it goes right down the middle of the tooth, instead of, I'll worry about the stop and start later. I want this thing now to go through the middle of the tooth. That's really close now. A little bit further. That's in the middle. Okay. This gives me a little ideas. And it's just a process of elimination. Let's go a little deeper. It's a little springy. So that's where I want it to be. Stop it every time, so I'm getting to it. Now we're too high, so we're missing the end again. Okay, so it's easier to do this not in 11, 10, 10, 11, 12 hour. Okay, now we're not. Can be frustrating. All right, we got it in there. Okay, so now, get that side in. Now I'm gonna go over and align my other side here. So now I'm gonna come back and put the verge on. While I'm aligning over on this side, I will put our governor in. So I'll look, make sure that that's tight. Yep. Okay. This is an invaluable tool. Not that far off. I'm gonna figure out a way to just do a model or something. Okay. Okay. It should be stopped. A model of how to get how to line this up, but it's really just practice. Sorry to say, this is one thing I want to teach is once you get this in line, keep your finger there so this wheel doesn't move. So I got to put this in now, and I got to open this up, but I don't want the wheel to move. Again, let's find a place to put this. I'm really trying to hold this in line because I have the timing in there right. And then when I open this up, this wheel doesn't move. Which is just really to protect the pivots. You think you're doing good and you go through and then you break a pivot. That's not fun. There you go. And hopefully this is timed. Yep, you're timed down. All right, so I can pull this back out because now it says it's still supposed to run. We'll test that out. Okay, stop. No, it's not timed. It's off by just a hair. Okay, it was timed right. I keep moving the fish hook by letting this turn here free. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to put in the verge and stop this issue. So we won't have this twirling around anymore. And I also have to make an adjustment on, let me get this screwed back in. Okay, so now you just put a little wind on it. I don't put too much. All right, another little video I want you to watch. This is hitting right at the tooth, so it's not letting it go up or down. Okay, can you see that? So I'm going to try just to bend it there a little bit and see if it hits the middle. Nope. Nope. Okay, so it stopped on a short tooth, not on a long tooth. It's supposed to stop on a long tooth. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to, a couple different things I'm here to do. So if it's a long tooth, then you just put it down further. That's not a correct orientation, but because it's rubbing, it's a little too low. When we get to the long tooth, it's not stopping on the short tooth now. Oh, let me do that a little bit. It's back onto the still hitting that. Okay. Things here. you want to stop it right when it goes down the long tooth. Then you got to look at where this stop lever is. And remember, again, when I got this was all parts, so normally I wouldn't have so much adjustment to do, but I think things got changed in the time frame. Okay, we got it to stop now. Okay, it's still not where I would prefer it to be, so I do have some more adjustments to make on it. But the next problem that what I have is that when it's running, I don't have enough spring on it anymore. I've been pretty much letting it run a little bit, so I'll let it get a little power here. Well, it's stopping. It's stopping now every time. Yeah. That's usually okay. But this isn't catching the wheel in here coming around, so that's just basically going in, just trying to find out where to go in, and now I got to make sure before I get too far, these springs do play a part in this. Since I know I'm going to be able to stop it, I'm going to take these off right now. I am going to wind the spring. I want to make sure that the wheels, that this isn't affecting how this is laying, because sometimes it rubs up against it and holds it back. So let's just so you know what I'm doing, I'm trying to get this to go come at an angle that it goes right down the middle of the tooth, instead of I'll worry about the stop and start later. I want this thing now to go through the middle of the tooth. That's really close now. A little bit further. That's in the middle. Okay. This gives me a little ideas. And it's just a process of elimination. Let's go a little deeper. A little springy. So that's where I want it to be. stop it every time, so I'm getting to it. Now we're too high, so we're missing the end again. Okay, so it's easier to do this not in the 11, 10, 10, 11, 12 hour. Okay, now we're not. Can be frustrating. Okay, what I'm discovered is my timing is a little bit off here, so I'm going to now fix the timing. Okay, I have loosened the nut here. I may loosen a little bit more. I'm just trying to take this out, the fan, governor fan out, and the next wheel out to move the pin slightly this closer to the lever. I just found out that I'm just a hair outside of it, and I want to be in the lowest point here when that pin hits the lever. I'm going to take this out a little bit further, enough to get, and I have the spring tied up, so I don't have any problems with that. I'm going to take it out this way. I need to go a little bit further. It's not that hard to do with when the spring is a little bit more tricky when you try to do it with a spring in it. All right, I just need that moved right there. I'm going to check again because I want to be in the lowest point. Maybe one more. Now the idea is to put this back. everything in place. Okay. Check it again. It's low. Okay. I gotta go back out at it again because my verge came out and I do not want to have a problem with that. Okay. Things back in. Now I do want to come back in here and get this spring. Put it back around here. And I would suggest using tweezers because a lot of people don't. And tweezers are one of two ways you can look at it. Strong finger tool, weak plier tool. Okay, so you can use it as a plier and it's weak. Use it as a finger and it's strong. As an extension to your finger, I should say. I guess I should talk a little bit more about. I thought I may have said that I wanted to talk about the National Convention, NAWCC National Convention that I was at this weekend. It was a lot of fun. I've never went to a national to sell, but we had 5 tables, and it was I don't know whether I enjoyed the selling so much because the selling was good, or just talking because you're in a stationary place. Get to talk to a lot of people. I like talking to a lot of people. Many people know me. I'm just gonna get 2 singles. There we go. I just want to be able to to have this move around. Okay, so this should be tame. I will test it just to make sure that it is in fact locking up. And then, oops, I didn't. This is one of the reasons why I usually put my I let down the spring and I didn't put the click spring back in the click. There we go. All right, so okay, it's there. Now I got all the adjustments will be okay. So I got to make sure the lock is good. I just have to make sure that it stays. Oh, I know why. I'm going to do a little, the bar's up too high. There's a double lock happening somewhere. Okay. Oh, I know why. Because the next thing I have to adjust to make this work is it's got bent inside. You can do bending outside all you want, but the thing is that what it's doing is it's riding too high, and I can't really show you here, but the pin that makes the lever go down, let me see, the pin that makes the lever pull back and then let go is sitting right on the pin. So it's locked up right in the pin, so it needs to be adjusted a little bit. And I'm going to do that here. I gotta keep remembering. Now, you have to understand that several hours have passed by because I have an open shop and we just got back from a long hiatus, and so there's a lot of people coming in to see me. And all right, so it's just stopping right on the there it is. Now we got quite a that little action going. Pull it down a little bit. And there we go. All right, so now I'm just running through, and of course I'm in the long counts. Now I am coming into the short counts, so I'm gonna see where we are. And this should do it. Just again, also with the open plates in the back, there's a little hole right there that I do this adjustment. This was really messed up. We are in the money. We have it now. All right. Clear. Let's test it one more time. This time we're going to test it okay, we're stopping. Again, I'm going to make sure that it's going into the middle of the, yep, right in the middle. Okay. So let me show you what I was just, there's a long lever that runs up the middle here that is attached. Here you have a stop lever here, you have the hammer lever, and then you have a long rod that runs up here to this wheel. All right, and this little pin's in here. We're stopping right on the lever, you know, locking it up, stopping right on the lever point. And this lever is to be lifted as this pin comes by. It's to be lifted. And what was going on was it was not actually making this go up and down. It was just locked right in, and that's what was blocking that. That's the thing. Now, another thing I noticed here, and we'll just let that go, is this leader wire, verge wire, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of bendy up. So I'm going to try to reform it a little bit better. We'll do it again when we balance the unit. I just don't like, it's kind of sloppy. And while we're here, we'll now tighten up this one. All right. Let's see if my bushing work did well. Now I use two types of mainsprings. If I can get a hold of the ones that were made years ago, that they're still floating around here in Georgia, I'll get them. They're the ones that come with these. All right. Otherwise, I buy them from Germany, and they also come with these. The pivots are a little bit different, but they do, they're superior springs, and there's nothing worse than putting, weak springs from certain countries on your clocks, because I've had them break the first time I wind them up. And there's nothing worse than getting shell shocked about the first time you wound them up. This is, oh, that's usually a good sign. I like that. You see that in my intro and my exit, because it's just, I tell people all the time, if you're at an auction and you see a clock doing that, it's a good sign. Now, weak pliers. And that's what I'm going to kind of use them as right now. And then I go deeper. This is a troublemaker right here. This is, you know what, I'm going to use. I'm just trying to be really careful, because there's a certain amount of you don't force stuff. You gently manipulate. This is not wide enough, and you have to have a little shake. I would be surprised if this was. What's in here? There's a hammer. Okay, I found a little piece of brass. For some reason I thought there was a hole, but there isn't. So you just do a twist on the brass. Okay, and then bring it down in. And I just do a little turn there, and that should keep it in place. Do another little end squeeze. Okay. All right. Anyway, National is really cool. Again, I never sold there, and I just felt like I talked for 3 days straight. And then met some really cool people out in the street. some local musicians and artists and stuff, and got talking to them. Just had a good time. Had a nice weekend with Jeff. Justin held up the fort at the shop, and just putting the hammer back on here. So anyway, needs to be a little bit. Okay. This was so. Okay, good, and stops nice. I'm just checking the teeth. I just want to make sure there's no other kind of damage. And you're ready to go. Oh, good. All right. All right, so now let's do a little oil. Don't have to put a lot on. It's been cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. Man, it's looking good though. What we're trying to do, I've greased them. Now I just will help the grease a little bit. Now, you'll notice, try to grease this side here, or oil this side, excuse me. The very metal to metal sound will kind of subside a little bit in and around the governor, that is. Much better. There you go. Let me just finish up. It's been a long first day back, and we're going to put the clock up on the movement up on the wall, and that will be our finishing shot today. And it was a long weekend at National. I'll talk a little bit about National again. I'll encourage you to join. I met a lot of young people at National. There's a great place in York, Pennsylvania that is teaching. There's a school there. I think it's called York Time School. Anyway, they work with young people getting into the business, both in the clock side and the watch side. And I met 3 very, very young, a married couple and their friend. And I really enjoyed our talk with them, and we're going to probably do some work together here. And I met the person that runs it, a very nice gentleman. I'll have more information for you guys later on this. But there's a lot of great things going on in horology that a lot of people don't know about. There's the Rolex schools, but they basically train you to be a Rolex service person, but that's good, that's fine. And I just think that a lot of people don't realize how much is still viable in this field, and learning this, my discipline is clocks, is extremely important. I'm teaching my sons, and I have taught others in the past, and it's just I got a whole course from probably the 50s or the 60s. It's a correspondence course for the British Horological School, and I'm going to read more into that, and maybe do some show and tell in upcoming videos. I'm really excited. It was the one reason why I like going to different events is, as I've gotten older, is that it really energizes me to what's out there. And we sold about 60% of what we brought to the show, so I'm very happy about that. Anyway, enough about NAWCC for right now, because I'm a person that really likes to talk about it, and you'll hear from me in the future about it. Anyway, this concludes the Seth Thomas 89, and Gotta Fix John's Clock, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video, especially if you've watched them all to the end. Again, I think this video in particular shows that, you can fumble through this. Don't be afraid to go out there. Just do the right things. Make sure you have spring clamps, let down tools, and you can, because this is where you put the clock in danger if you don't put these clamps on. These springs are powerful. They'll blow up on you. I don't know what happened to this. You saw at the front of the video, maybe I'll put it at the end, pictures of this was in pieces, and I don't know whether, I can't remember right now the whole story, but I do know that it's back together. And again, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe. Please like, this is all the stuff at the end of the video. You know what to do. Anyway, hit the bell so you're notified when I do more videos. I hope to be doing better, since my neck is fine now, and I hope to be able to do more. In the meantime, stay safe. And I'm just sitting here watching this. Look, stops. And be kind to your clocks, and we'll see you next time.